Readers Entertainment Radio presents Booklights with your host, author Lisa Kessler. Booklights, where we're shining a light on good books.
Hello, everyone. It's Monday. It's a whole new week, and I'm pretty sure this weekend we start getting longer days. So time is passing, even though the world is still sort of on pause. I'm so glad you guys are here with us today because I have another author on who I know, who is a friend. So you guys know I get excited when it's somebody I know, but I can't wait to introduce you to her. It's author Kay Sterling, and I'll read her bio and then we'll talk about what she writes, but you will love her books. I can't wait for you to give her a try. So here we go. Kay Sterling is just a tired, anxious woman with a MacBook who writes to save her sanity. Writing also allows her to stay home and care for her dogs and cat and two teenage daughters who are the most teenage daughters to ever teenage and are responsible for all of Kay's premature gray hairs. She also homeschools her teenage autistic son, Alex. And Alex is the inspiration behind Kay's most beloved character, Dr. Aiden Sharp. Before all this magical romance nonsense happened, Kay served in the U.S. Army as a counterintelligence agent. How cool is that? And then went on to teach CI investigations before changing careers and becoming a stay-at-home mom with Alex and the gang. Kay has been married for many, many years to Mr. Sterling, and he is currently leaving his long career in counterintelligence to narrate his wife's audiobook. Yes, we're totally going to talk about that today, guys, and other things. So you can learn more about Kay and sign up for her newsletter right there on her website. I did put a link to that right there on the Blog Talk site. You can click that anytime. Sign up for her newsletter. Follow her on Twitter. She's super funny, and I don't want to delay anymore. Are you there, Kay?
I'm here. Thanks for having me, Lisa.
Yay.
I'm really excited.
I'm so glad that you came on today. So you have a brand new series that I'm so excited because I got to be there at the nexus of the series, the Bisbee Bachelors Club. Plus, guys, it happens in like a ghost town in Arizona, and everyone knows I love ghosts and paranormal things. So, Kay, you want to tell everybody about Moonlight and Madness? Why should they go grab it today?
Well, because it like you said, it does take place in, I think, my favorite place in the country, Bisbee, Arizona, which does happen to be actually haunted. So it kind of made sense to have a romance series there, in my brain at least. And it's a really exciting, fun, modern romance. It happens in a kind of very old, small town. So yeah, if you like ghosts and you like queer romance and you like a little bit of suspense in your romance, then yeah, Moonlight Madness is where you need to go. But you probably need to read book 1 because that's book 2 of my Big Weird series that I just started.
So it's a good series to read in order. They're not like standalone.
No, I mean I tried to make them just enough of a standalone that if you haven't, but you're gonna see characters that you're gonna kind of want the backstory too. But each adventure is kind of supposed to be kind of like its own little Scooby-Doo, but for grown-ups kind of mystery. But yeah, there are little stories that there's a bigger mystery that's kind of woven through, and yeah, the backstories for some other characters are kind of tucked in different books. So yeah, it's not quite a standalone.
Okay. Well, I was excited, and I'm pretty sure readers listening might be interested too. Is gay romance cozy mysteries? Is that a thing, or are you inventing something? I just think it's super cool. How'd you come up with that?
Okay, thanks. Well, I don't know that anything, like, I have a theory that there's only like 10 like original ideas in the world, and we're all kind of doing variations on something. And I don't know that there's a lot of cozy gay romance mysteries type books out there, but I don't want to say I'm the first, but I think it is like a small niche that I've kind of fallen into, and it does seem to be something that people are like, oh yeah, I haven't read anything like that. But I think KJ Charles, and there's a few authors out there that are kind of pushing that genre, but it is new and small, and but I don't think I'm the first. I hope I'm not.
Well, I just think it's a cool concept, and you have another series that's been ongoing much longer, the Lake Cliff, and is that one's like kind of cozy mystery gay romance too, isn't it?
Yes. Lake Cliff is a huge series. I think it's 26 books now if you include all the adjacents and spin-offs. And Lake Cliff is a small place like right outside of Chicago, about an hour outside, but it has that small kind of cozy mystery feel. But then some of the mysteries in the adjacent ones take place like in Rhode Island, in another small town. And so it is kind of a conglomerate of small towns, and some in London and different parts of Europe, and one's on a yacht. So that's kind of not really a small town, but yeah, so it's all kinds of different themes. There's a little bit of everything in Lake Cliff, but we definitely go back to the small town, cozy mystery kind of theme a lot because I don't know. I think that's maybe my happy spot.
Yeah. Did you grow up in a small town?
No. I was an Army brat, and then I was in the Army, so I think that whole, like, I've always wished I could have been from a small town instead of picking up and moving around all the time. And you get those romantic ideas about what it's like to be in a small town. And sometimes you get a peek when you live in the right place or close enough to the right place, so you're always kind of chasing that ideal.
That's so funny, and I find that lots of authors, the theme of their books actually comes out of their childhood. Like my books are always about found family, and I grew up an only child, so I was always home alone all the time, and so now all my books are about finding your family, even though you're not blood related, and you travel all around the world, and you're still looking for that small town.
Right. Right. And, I have, I think almost all my books end up being in some way about orphans or people looking for a found family. And I think it is kind of that same because I never got to have, a really close relationship to, my cousins and aunts and uncles, and I didn't get to keep friends for super long except, long-distance type friendships. So I think I was kind of always, seeking that kind of deeper bond with people that you kind of miss out on when you move around a lot.
Yeah, when you're traveling around a lot. Yeah.
Always therapy.
Well, yes, there is always therapy. I highly recommend it. But what was it like? I wondered too, because you always have this little mystery element. Does that come from your previous life, being in counterintelligence? Does that play into your books at all?
Oh, I think it does a lot. I tend to look at, when I'm building stories, even if it's not a mystery story, when I'm looking at how characters think and what drives their motivations, I think that I do kind of go back to that and that cause and effect of our decisions and things like that. So you're kind of always doing that, even if I am, even if I'm not writing a mystery. When I write a mystery, it definitely helps to have that, I guess, that process, or that, being used to that process and looking at things from that angle. Yeah, for sure. It's and then I've always been suspicious of people. I'm always why?
What makes him tick?
That thing? Yeah. So that kind of helps.
That's a very writer thing. We always want to know why. Why they do that? What if this happened? So do you still have friends in law enforcement? Do you get to keep tabs on what the newest, devices are, or all that kind of stuff? Do you stay on top of all that?
Oh goodness, no. No.
No? Okay.
No, because it was in the military intelligence world, it does change so quickly, and especially when you're looking at military in technology, things turn over so fast. But the really cool thing about writing the type of investigations I do, it tends to be more of the interview and the intellectual type of investigation, instead of relying on tradecraft and spycraft and that type of. Although I do in Lake Cliff, I have a lot of hackers and people who play with drones and stuff like that. But to stay out of trouble, I try to keep it more like the brainy, thinky type investigative stuff, because there are times when Scott's like, no, you got to take this word out. Don't include this word because you might get in trouble.
I love it. And now I mean I write paranormal, so a lot of times I can just slide a little on, it's some sort of paranormal thing that happens. But when you're writing suspense, isn't it difficult now that everyone has cell phones with cameras and all? I mean, do you have to like drench their cell phone first thing, or how do you keep them from figuring it out too fast?
Everything goes in the lake, yeah. Everybody falls in a lake or something to get them, so we don't have.
Yes.
No, I either try to play with technology or completely avoid it, so that you can kind of get away with that in the small town, because you kind of keep those mysteries a little bit simpler, or play on things that kind of lean into that small town pace, and that everybody's known everybody.
Went down.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because Bisbee it's kind of a dead spot a lot of places in town, so I could kind of get away with that, but yeah,
so to speak,
it kind of helps to keep it low tech.
So when you write these books in all these exotic places, have you been there? Do you like to go where you're setting a book?
With Bisbee, it is, it's a place that I've been, and it's been really cool to write about Bisbee because I miss it so much, and because we can't travel. And if there was one place I could go to right now, it would be Bisbee. And I think like a lot of times it is places I have been, but then other times, like running around London and Paris or whatever, a lot of it is use a lot of like Yelp and Google Maps and to do like research that way. So I mean, I wish, but only maybe like half the time.
Well, dang it, the Army didn't send you there?
Oh, they did. Yeah, I went all over the place with the Army, and but I have drawn on that when I do things that take place in the Middle East or Afghanistan. But I haven't said a lot of places, a lot of romances there, because I'm not much of a military romance kind of writer yet, I guess. But I have drawn on that with some characters. But yeah, most of them kind of take place in the U.S. And as a counterintelligence agent, you don't do a lot in the United States because you can't collect on Americans, so it's all overseas stuff. And most of my books are in America.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. This is where we are, where we live.
Yeah, not a sexy or romantic answer, but.
No, but totally works. Are there other genres that you're interested in trying? Are you, is gay romance what you've always been interested in, or do you have other genres that you have a secret book in a drawer or something?
Well, this is really weird. Like, I always thought that I would go into like military nonfiction or historical military nonfiction.
Wow.
Right. I know, right? Right about the periods like between World War I and World War II. So I thought I would start there, but then Scott was like, nobody wants to read that. Maybe you should try something somebody else wants to read. So it was like kind of like a fun, like, let's just see what happens and if I like writing romance. It was more of a kind of just to warm up kind of and get into writing. But then it just felt so fun and it just worked for me so much better. But I think I would like to maybe go back one day and write some more military type historical fiction and get into that. But there's so much research there. I don't know how people who write historical fiction or nonfiction.
It's true,
Yeah, that's so much work.
Well, you think about it, it's like overwhelming. You even have to know, what kind of shoes did they wear? You don't think about it until you're writing it, and you're like, what shoes did they wear? Did they have paved streets in this city? So it is wild.
Yeah. But I would love to write more paranormal too. But that's a whole the way you guys write paranormal, because you are doing world building and magic building, and then you're working out physiology and whatnot for characters that have never existed, and that is so exciting to me. But it's so scary. But I would love to do more of that, and I'm kind of dipping my toe into it with Bisbee and some of the. But yeah, I would love to do more of that. But boy, is that scary stuff. Like, you guys are just making up all kinds of amazing worlds and characters and scary stuff.
It is super fun. I highly recommend. So I always ask everybody who comes on the show, because our readers are always really excited to hear what your writing journey was like, because it's different for everyone. And it sounds like yours was sort of collaborative with your husband about, how you're going to do this. But, I mean, did you join a writer's group? Did you always want to write? Did it fall in your lap? How did that all happen?
I did always want to write, and I went to school for a little while for writing, but then kind of chickened out and went into the military because it was easier than, saying, I'm going to do this.
Right.
So I went in the military and I put it off, and then I was doing the stay-at-home mom thing, and I was very kind of lost in, like, what do I do with myself? And my husband's like, you always want to be a writer, write a book, but don't write that military history book because nobody wants to. Nobody's going to want to read that. So write something fun that, won't, be so daunting. So I tried that, and I thought he would be the only one to read it. So I was like, I'm going to make this a full-blown bodice ripper to make him blush and uncomfortable. But then he ended up not reading it. He was like, I'm not reading it, publish it. So I published it, and it just kind of, it did really well on Amazon, and I self-published, and I was like, oh, my gosh. So I did a few more, and they were male, female, and boy, were they awful because they were historical, and I had no business doing that. And then I just, because of, it was kind of like a reader dare, they said, you better not make this character gay. And I said, well, okay, but let me try it out, but give him a different name. But it worked so much better, and it was so much more fun. And then the bug kind of bit me, and I couldn't stop.
I love that. And now your husband is actually recording your audiobooks, right? So do you make him blush now?
Oh, all the time, and I can do it over and over. It's like, oh, you need to do this again, but make this a little bit steamier. Like, dial up the moan a little bit more there. So it's all kinds of fun torturing him with it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I was poking around on your website and I saw about him doing the audiobooks, and I went and listened to a sample, and he's really good.
Oh, thank you. He is sure that, like, I'm the only one who thinks he's good, and he's like, of course, every time I'm like, no, you're doing great, and he's like, oh, you say that because I'm your, but I think he did do a great job with him, and I'm so proud. The way he does my Aiden character, it makes my heart melt because he sounds just like the way I imagined, but I think most of my characters sound like Scott, like in my head, most of my heroes, so it just,
Aww.
Yeah.
So is he going to do all your books in audio? How many books are out there in audiobook right now?
I think we have 4 now. I'm so bad at this. I think we have 4 now, and the intention was to get them all out on audio, well, at least all the Lake Cliff, and have him do them just for consistency. But it is kind of a problem because I am so controlling and such a beast that I want to be in the room with him. Like, I sit in the booth and I direct every line. So it is kind of, so it does take a lot of time. And so I can't write books when I do that. So it's a bit, so I get kind of pulled back and forth. So it's taking a while, and we've taken a break just to let me get some more writing done. But I would love to go back and eventually do all of Lake Cliff at least, because I do love how he kind of established those characters and really just breathes a lot of life into them.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, I thought he did a fantastic job. So anyone who loves audiobooks, go check out Kay Sterling's Lake Cliff's books on Audible. Are they everywhere or just Audible?
I think they're just on Audible right now, but we are planning to take the whole series wide and slowly move out as I get a little bit braver.
Yeah. Oh, you totally should. But anyway, everybody who's on Audible, go check those out because her husband reads them, and he does a fantastic job. So you can tell him I said so.
Okay. Thanks. I'll tell him. That'll make his day because he loves you.
Aw. So how do you refill the creative well? It has been so weird writing during this pandemic. At the beginning of it, I was really struggling because just with the world on fire, I couldn't concentrate for more than 5 minutes. I've gotten better at it because, like, I write with you on Zoom, so I that helps a lot. But, how do you refill your well and get new ideas and get inspired? What are you doing during the pandemic to keep going?
That's a great question because I think I started out just writing at this feverish pace because I was trying to avoid the pandemic, like in the beginning, like the first 4 months or so. It was just like get in a bubble and avoid it all and write. But I ran out of steam and I started to really flag and get burnt out. And then I found the group and I found you all. And it really, I think that has been the biggest source of inspiration and where I go to recharge is because I have this group of amazing writers who I can see almost every day, and it's easier to kind of tune out the awful when you have this great kind of, I joke and I call us the coven, but it is like my little council of muses, and I sit with this really positive, lovely group, and we all start feeding off each other, and we hear like these amazing ideas getting bounced around, and we see each other working, and it is kind of that creativity begets more creativity. So I'm always being inspired and pushed, and it's hard to stay kind of down and be, hard on yourself when you've got all this great energy going and these wonderful people. But then I guess I just try to, I will watch, some TV and movies until something kind of like, oh, you know what, I didn't really like this, but I would have done this and this, and you kind of run in a different direction. So I think I'm always trying to kind of keep the brain hatch open so stuff falls in.
Right. Do you watch the crime shows? Do those inspire some mysteries sometimes?
I love like Murder, She Wrote and Poirot and shows like that, where it is more of that kind of problem solving and the thinky kind of investigative stuff. But yeah, I do watch a lot of those, and I love like those big investigator type mysteries with those big characters like that, like Poirot and J.B. Fletcher, and I'm trying to think of other ones, and my brain is going to blank out.
Did you ever watch Bones? I love Bones. I watched every episode of Bones. Yeah,
I did, and I got
fantastic.
really into that like years ago. Yeah,
Oh,
such a good show. Cool. Yeah. And CSI, obviously. I think we all watched a lot of CSI, and we kind of learned some basement forensics, I call it.
Right.
CSI.
Yes, we learned that DNA can be figured out in 30 minutes. Boom.
Yeah. Just send that off to the lab. When everybody just
That's
drums
right.
their fingers
Just send it
on
to
the
the lab.
Oh, it's back.
Yes. It just magically comes back on your phone. Woo!
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. I have a cousin who's a police detective, and she hates CSI because she said everybody just thinks you're instantly going to know, and you don't, and your whole job is paperwork, and it takes forever.
It is. I love like when you see like the stakeout scenes and how it takes like 4 hours, and they're just in the car for a day. But whenever I would teach surveillance, it was like, okay, guys, we might be in this car for 2 weeks, so get comfortable.
So get comfortable
and learn how to write reports.
Have some good snacks.
Yeah, lots and lots of reports. It's never as fun as TV.
No. But I had her come speak at an RWA meeting once, and she said, but really, if you made your book realistic, no one would read it. It's so boring.
It's so boring. But we still take liberties. I'm always laughing, like when you watch on TV where they do like the chlorophyll over the mouth, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. But then you go ahead and I put it in my books.
You put the right way in your book.
Yeah. So it's like we still take those liberties and pretend like, yeah. So it's
and pretend it works.
Science doesn't matter in romance.
Right. So what's your favorite romantic trope in your romances? Do you like enemies to lovers? Do you like friends to lovers? What's your favorite?
I think I've been doing a lot of fated mates lately. Just that kind of, when you meet that person, you know that this is the one I've been waiting for, or the person who's going to complete me. I do a lot of that because I do so many like mysteries and a lot of suspense that I love to set up like a team and kind of have that kind of energy going into, it's us against the world or us taking down this evil person. So that's definitely a favorite. And then I think enemies to lovers. I do a lot of that too because I love that.
Oh, me too.
Hate you, but I want to kiss
that
you.
Push and pull.
That kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hate you even more because I want to kiss you.
Yes. Damn your face. Let me kiss it.
That's right. That's right. It's all your fault. Now I got to kiss you.
Yep. What are we going to do? I guess we got to just
yeah.
take off our clothes.
And then it's the well, maybe just once to get it out of our system. That never works, but they always think it will.
Yep.
So, who inspires you, writing-wise? Who do you like to read?
Well, I read a lot of Stephen King and a lot of Thomas Harris, the Silence of the Lambs books. So I think we see a lot of those. Even if I'm not writing like paranormal, I still kind of draw on a lot of Stephen King, or even if it's not horror, I still push a lot of those kind of elements. I love sometimes the jump scares or just the characters that just, you shouldn't like them. Like we've talked about this, like how much I love cannibals. Like you shouldn't like them, you shouldn't root for them, but I love to make you fall in love with them. Like that's one of my favorite things. Like everybody loved Hannibal Lecter, I'm convinced, but I've wanted to make him a romantic hero, so that's always an inspiration there. And then Shel Silverstein. So yes. I've always that kind of soft, we take care of each other kind of. I love that.
Well, and Stephen King, every time I'm teaching craft classes, I always make everybody read Stephen King, The Stand, because the character building is so fantastic. And every time you read one of his books, the characters are somebody you could know who's down your street, and you instantly relate. And I just think every time you read Stephen King, you get, there's always a nugget in there for you of characterization that you're like, oh, yeah, I should do that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, he was really good at taking those things that I think we recognize in, like, the little sweet lady around the corner, those qualities, but, like, giving them that very kind of creepy, weird twist.
There's one thing that's off.
Yeah, and we all recognize it about, the little lady in the corner. We're like, okay, that's always bugged me about her. And he always knows how to find that in the character and kind of give you that kind of chill in the back of your neck. So I do try. I love that. And I've always tried to kind of play that up or, to either help the reader connect or to give them like, okay, is this the bad guy or is that the bad guy? Which one, So much to learn from him.
Yes, for sure. So what's next for you? What are you working on for your next thing?
Well, I am currently writing book number 3 of the Bisbee Bachelors Club, Unhappy Medium, about our psychic character who doesn't want to be a psychic. And that's been fun. And then it'll be book 4, and then because I'm almost done with Unhappy Medium. So, then it'll be on to book 4. So I'm kind of turning that over in my head.
And how many books are there going to be in the Bisbee Bachelors Club?
8 so far, but then I have already got a Bisbee Bachelors Club spin-off series planned with Noah, our reluctant empath character, because he just went off in a whole crazy direction. Yeah, so far 8, and then some spin-off books, maybe 3 or 4. So
oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
So everyone run out and grab those. What was the first book in the series that they should get first?
It's called Haunted Hearts, and then there's Moonlight Madness, and then we're on Unhappy Medium.
Great, and they're in Kindle Unlimited too, right? So if you're a Kindle Unlimited person, you can just go start reading, right?
Yes. Those are available on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited, and then in a few months we'll be taking those wide too. So they'll be available everywhere.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So Barnes & Noble, Nook, Kobo, all those people can all get it.
Yes. Coming soon.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I can't believe that our half hour has run out. We'll have to do it again sometime. But thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, I had a great time, and thank you for having me. I had a blast, and I'm so excited. Anytime.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime. And everybody go grab Moonlight and Madness and Haunted Hearts. You will not be sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on Booklights. Be sure to connect with us at www.readersentertainment.com for articles, blogs, videos, and podcasts that matter to readers.